Este es nuestro sol. It is called movement sun because on that day it began to move. Se llama sol de movimiento porque se mueve, sigue su camino. The old people say that in this age earthquakes will appear. Como andan diciendo los viejos, en él habrá movimientos de tierra. And there will come starvation, and we shall perish. Habrá hambre, y así pereceremos. Chapter 1. La leyenda. The jump between the two buildings is too wide, maybe 10 feet. There's only one way I can make it. I gather my vital force, my tonali, in my legs, and soar from one rooftop to another, my cloak of darkness flying out behind me like a banner. I rush through the afternoon, fully aware of the lookouts below searching for any sign of trouble, any trace of me. I'm all but invisible, and an invisible hunter is a successful one. Seen from this high up, Santiago Tlatelolco looks grand. The daylight is several shades brighter as it reflects off the limestone buildings, and the streets glisten as if each stone were dipped in precious metal. From up here, I can see the capital and its central square, with Viceroyal Palace to its east, surrounded by fountains and lush gardens. The rest of the square is bordered by the Cabildo, the cathedral, and the residences of the encomenderos, beauty fashioned from the remnants of war. The faintest sounds buzz in my ears. The claws of scurrying rats on tile, gurgling bellies, dry lips parting, the vestiges of a conversation from around the corner. I'm depending on you to make good bargains today, Jose. Tuning out the noise of the town, I land on a house made of earthen bricks shaded by avocado trees, with a small plot of crops planted on a raft platform above the water. These floating gardens are abundant along the fresh southern lakes, closer to Xochimilco and Chalco, but chinampas are not unknown in the vicinity of the north. There aren't any inside La Traza, the Spanish part of the island, but they can be found here. This is where farmers sow wheat, in accordance with the policies of the Viceroy of New Spain. For if the Spaniard is to eat, he must have bread. And if the Mexica are to keep their governments and privileges, they must pay tribute to the Viceroyalty and adhere to all Spanish laws. This particular house, however, raises maize. It is now a belief that once the people ate only roots and meat, until the god of dawn Quetzalcoatl brought forth corn from the mountain of sustenance, and from that day forward they have planted and harvested it. A soft feathering from the roof smoke hole curls above the house. Planks of wood form a trap door. I tug and it springs open. Inside, the bony Señor Alonso is hunched over a table, frantically unrolling slips of bark paper, reading glyphs and symbols from manuscripts older than him, with ragged edges and stains. Señor Alonso's curved back proves his life has been one of hardship, like a stalk of corn persevering after a bad growing season, browned and withered, not dead but blighted. His tonali wanes. That's what healers say when the body is not in harmony. Tonali is weak. Tonali is too sluggish. Tonali is flowing too much or too little. Tonali is pooling in the wrong places. I enter quietly and slow the descent of the trapdoor. One end of my mask escapes my hood, and I tighten the strap back into my bun. My feet touch the floor softly. Señor Alonso knows I'm here, but he doesn't bother to look at me. The Viceroy's men are coming for you, I say, fighting to keep my voice steady. We have to get you out of here. Now. Señor Alonso holds a parchment up to the light from the window as he strains to see better. A fly lands on his cheek, but he's too focused to wave it away.
Tinemontemi days are upon us,
he murmurs in slightly accented Spanish that reveals his native Nahuatl. The last 5 days of the year. Unfortunate dead days. Señor Alonso remembers the tales of his father and his father before him. Many years ago, no prudent Nahua left their home during the dead days, not for food, not for anything. Those who did looked over their shoulders as much as ahead of them. A twig did not crack in the forest or lake water splash without a heart skipping a beat. In the story Señor Alonso shares, there is sorrow, for he speaks of a world that has all but vanished. He was just a boy then. I'm aware, I say, but you can't stay here, Señor Alonso.